So Cancer, your September 2025 forecast is intriguing. The moon, your ruler, is right at the heart of the action with the two eclipses, but there's more than that, because with Jupiter in your sign, very much to do with expansion, but can be to do in Cancer, the more spiritual and feeling dimension of your life. He forges a very strong link with the Sun in the practical Virgo through the first couple of weeks, but so does Venus in your second house, which can give you an appreciation of the good things in life. She's in a semi-sextile with the practical Sun in Virgo. Now, Virgo energy for you, we know that Virgo can be about precision, but I feel that could see you with a desire to connect to people in your community, perhaps people in your locality, maybe family members, siblings, for example, and there could be the potential to get together for some kind of gathering. It can be bubbly, it can be fun, especially because Jupiter feeds into the first of the eclipses, the lunar eclipse on the 7th, but in particular to the North Node, which coalesces with the lunar eclipse in your fellow water sign of Pisces. But that ninth house energy can be about where you want to expand, but it can also be where things are amplified. Now, the North Node gives us an instinct of where our direction of travel should be. And for you, I feel it may be that your philosophies, or what gives you a sense of personal freedom and independence whilst maintaining your need for security, gets a chance to really thrive. So the fact that Jupiter is feeding both the Sun in the quick communicational part of your chart, but also the position of the lunar eclipse, is very helpful. Also, Mercury moves to join up with the Sun on the 2nd in its second of its two home signs of Virgo, and that adds a bit more crispness, a quicker interaction vibe to the situation. There's going to be lots of text messages and emails pinging backwards and forwards. There could be a sense of excitement, but if you're not really quite enjoying your existing situation, I feel the interaction between the third house, where the Sun and Mercury are coming together, where they become exact on the 13th, and the energy that's manifesting in your opposite sign, which is also added to by Saturn on the 1st, inversing back into Pisces for one final visit in this entire cycle of 29 and a half years through to the middle of February next year. There's a lot to think about what your higher purpose is. So the conversations can be quick, but they can be very meaningful. And what you're trying to discover is, are you at the present time feeling the level of security and nurture and feeding your soul exactly as you need? So that can be what you're thinking about, what you're interacting with others about. But also the ninth house energy, evoked by Saturn through to the middle of February next year, could see you considering relocating, buying property overseas. It may be to do with a contractual matter, publishing, maybe to do with considering a new mode of transport, and maybe something that's a bit more ambitious or a bit more substantive. But as we go further into the month, Mercury starts to move forwards and links up with the Sun exactly on the 13th. But just before that, on the 6th, Uranus, the disruptor, goes into a retrograde in the 10th to 12th house. If there is something that's making you feel unsettled, and even if it's been a little bit hard to identify, it may be difficult to avoid. Now, Mercury is going to come into the sign of Libra on the 18th, but just before that goes into quite an abrasive opposition with Saturn. There could be a crunch discussion right at that point. And if something isn't working for you, maybe it is around a legal or contractual matter, I thought clarity will come. It depends what you want. It may be that you're going to set your boundaries, but that could be a key time. But with the move of Mercury into your fourth house, Do you know, if it connects you to what really feeds that soul purpose, because for you it's the fourth house, it also joins up with Mars, which is in the fourth house through to the 22nd, that's going to really help. It's just that Venus then moves to join up with the Sun and replace Mercury in your third house. So even if there is some kind of big discussion at the heart of this month, or maybe a disagreement, I feel that the people immediately around you are going to provide a healing balm. And also you can take heart in what your values are, because Venus can be about values, but the third house can be about our beliefs. And if you're making a decision based on those beliefs, because the eclipses provide a backdrop energy for the next 6 months, so this decision you make can have quite a long-term impact, then just hold with that, because by the solar eclipse on the 21st, the second new moon of the Virgo season, so therefore a black moon, that also is in a crunching opposition with Saturn, just like Mercury was. So you may find, I feel from around about the 15th through to the 22nd, there may be something that does need to be thought about, talked about, confronted, that could be uncomfortable, but you need to stand up what you truly believe in, but you also need to be clear about where you're coming from. So for example, if you're doing a proposal, that your proposal really is going to make sense and be compelling to the person reading it. But also the solar eclipse and that crunch in opposition to Saturn is just in a disassociate way in an opposition with Neptune. And Neptune retains its location through September in your 10th house. That 10th house location of Neptune can bring out the part of you that can be inspired. You want to share your vision, you want to share your message in a way which is imaginative and can engage people. So if you've got something to say, Neptune is going to retain its role there. And also because when Mercury does move into the sign of Libra, even if it is coming off that punishing opposition to Saturn, it links to Uranus and back to Pluto. So there's going to be some kind of big revelation that occurs around that 15th to the 21st of the month, but it's a revelation that actually can set you free. It may be you revealing something that's important to you, you may hear information from someone else. But then on the 22nd, we do have the autumnal equinox ushering in cardinal quadrant 3, the next quarter of the Western tropical astrological year, a 13-week period, but more intensely with the Sun moving into Libra, a real desire for balance around your emotional life. And yet Mars moves on the same day into your sister water sign of Scorpio, and that really can ignite your passion. But it also could see you very fiery in a right angle with Pluto if you feel someone isn't being very fair, or you feel that your emotional boundaries are being overwhelmed in some manner. So there could be some tension at the end of this month, but essentially all the discussions that come from the eclipses and the backdrop energy from both of them through to the early part of next year, it's all about aligning with your beliefs, your philosophies that give you the maximum amount of space to be you, but also you maintain that emotional basis which is so important to you. So feeding that soul energy. So whether you're traveling, interacting, learning, teaching, whether you're doing something to do with the internet in terms of technology, expanding an idea, there are opportunities, but it has to feel right, and you have to be aligning with the right people. And as this month comes to a close, I feel you'll look back on it and think, whatever does happen, whether you change jobs, whether you start your own enterprise, whether you decide to publish a book, it will be because it's really in tune with the core of your very being. If you'd like to work with me one-to-one, please check out my testimonials below. Please also check out my new website at patrickarundell.com. You can download your free natal chart with a stunning free interpretation. Enjoy my wonderful 3 free card tarot, or sign up for your free daily horoscope fired to your device each day.